Welcome back, everyone. You couldn't even hold it for a second, could you?
I'm sorry.
This is episode 8 of Just a Couple Thoughts.
The big 8. That one's for you, Sarah.
So, Sarah's still not back yet, so I have another guest on. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Daniel. What should I tell them?
Like, what you do? What? Okay. So, you're not just Daniel online, though. You also have a Twitch stream.
Yeah, okay. I didn't want to plug my channel. It felt very insincere.
No, but that's a significant part of what you're doing right now.
That is true. Yes.
I feel like it's fair for introduction.
That's fair. Okay. My name's Daniel. I've been Sarah and Kevin's friend for a long time. Sarah, I think...
Much longer.
Yeah, she's my oldest. I think she's my longest friend. Even longer than another mutual friend who shares my name.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I should mention him or like name drop him, but yeah.
Well, you kind of did.
No.
Who else knew? Like, I wonder what's his name. Daniel?
Look, come on, man. I already told you before. I'm already sweating. The mic can pick it up. I'm serious. I'm audibly sweating right now.
Okay.
I told you it's just like your podcast has been like taking off like really well. So I had like
in comparison, yes.
Yeah, okay, in comparison to me at least. But like I had like nightmares. It's like, oh my god, what if I fuck it up for them? What if I do something like really really bad and like no one listens to them again and like, get them shunned from our friend group?
Worst part, we just never had you back on.
That's a fair point. Wow. What was I? The introduction?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My name is Daniel, and I am a Twitch streamer. That feels really weird saying. That's the first time I've ever...
That's what you are, though.
Yeah, no, but it's just like the first time I've ever introduced myself as that.
As a Twitch streamer?
Yeah, I'm a Twitch streamer.
Would you rather call yourself a live streamer?
No. No. That has a negative connotation depending on who you ask. Okay, but yeah, my name's Daniel. Online, I'm known as Xanthum, or for the Twitch stream, I'm known as Discount Xanthum, which you can find at twitch.tv/discountxanthum. I don't know, it just feels weird not plugging. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay, but yeah, and Kevin and Sarah invited me to be on the podcast, and I thought it would be a really super fun idea, and now here I am, like, audibly sweating. Again, I'm just so nervous. I'm sorry.
Again, like I said last podcast, this will be around the area where I will do recap, but because Sarah's not here, I'll just save it for next week. That doesn't mean don't comment. We barely have any, so we'll read all of it. We also have an email, so we also check that before every podcast. So, like I said, we will respond if we see it, and we will see it. But to continue with the topics, Daniel.
Yes.
Have you brought a topic today?
No, I told you. It's like all the stuff I wanted to talk about was on podcast 6.
The horror one.
Yeah, I had like so much stuff. I was going to put it in the comments, but because I knew I wasn't intelligent enough to have a topic ready, I had that saved on backup. I'm ready. Just in
go
case.
ahead. No, like you say it's like treading old ground, but like if you have something to bring to the table, bring it.
Okay, fine. Couple of things. You remember how like you were talking about like it's weird how you have like this fascination with like sociopaths and psychopaths and cults?
Oh, in particular serial killers for me, and cults for Sarah.
Okay, so in serial killers, it's really not that weird because like it was Ted Bundy, Netflix is doing like a documentary or something.
They're doing like a mockumentary movie.
Yeah, mockumentary.
Featuring Zac Efron.
Really?
Zac Efron's Ted Bundy.
Oh, I thought you were just fucking...
No, I'm not fucking around.
I mean, I didn't like research it. That's my fault, podcast listeners. But like when they announced that and they showed like who it was, and it probably doesn't help that Zac Efron is also going to be the one who's playing Ted Bundy.
Yep.
But like so many people went on Twitter and were like expressing like their legitimate sexual attraction to Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
Like so much so that Netflix had to be like, guys, remember this guy, like he's not a good person.
Yeah. He literally is a serial killer. But like I understand. Okay, I don't understand it, but I know where that's coming from like people being attracted to serial killers. But that's not me. I have like a weird fascination in terms of like what their mentality is while they kill. I mentioned last podcast like the way I see conversations is some people are like, I use the example of Chicken Cross Road. As we're recording this, is episode 6 hasn't come out. Or not, 7 hasn't come out. Right. So me and Ben were talking about like how the development of conversations for some people are like, I use the example of Chicken Cross Road, and some people are like, so Chicken Cross Road, where do you go after that, and where do you go after that? Okay. Well, I go like the Chicken Cross Road, and I would ask like, why did the Chicken Cross Road, or go example of that. For me, for serial killers is a serial killer has killed multiple people. It's not necessarily why, as in like the mentality, but like why. It's kind of like interesting. Like I'm more interested in how they did it. The motivation is just like a context for how they did it.
Okay.
For instance, I mentioned how H.H. Holmes, it was one of my favorite historical serial killers. How he did it was the part that really interests me, which is like he had a hotel and literally killed guests in it. But the context of why he killed them is because he collected life insurance off them.
Oh.
He collected the insurance money because he owned the hotel of people dying in there.
And no one was just like, that's a little suspicious.
I'm sure someone was. That's kind of how people found out he was a serial killer.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah.
But yeah, it was an insurance scam. So for me, like crazy people and like people who like exploit other people, that's one thing. I'm really interested on how these things happen, which I feel like kind of differentiates me in terms of being weird about serial killers.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But
for a long time already at this point. Nothing surprises me.
So, but yeah, that's what I mean. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like that Ted Bundy thing for Netflix, it was pretty controversial on both sides. Whereas like people who like really sexually attracted to Ted Bundy, but people did not like the Netflix making it because it was so recent, basically. Recent, like in terms of other serial killers they can make movies out of.
That's true.
Yeah, like literally direct family of the members are still alive. That's why I say like I'm more interested in the historical serial killers, because I feel like being super interested in recent serial killers is kind of
insensitive.
Yeah, it's insensitive to like the living victim still.
Yeah.
Like I know there's like still like relatives of historical serial killers, but it's so far apart that I don't feel personally bad. It's like it's a double standard for some people, I know, but it makes me feel better. And that's what's important.
Okay. All right. Second thing. Okay, so you said that like your porcelain doll.
They're not porcelain. Not all of them are porcelain.
Okay, your doll ghost story. Okay, even if it wasn't, if you don't consider it paranormal, you have to at least admit that something moved them there, and that in and of itself isn't creepy to you.
No. Oh, okay. Creepy, sure, but paranormal. I don't know.
Okay, the words you said were creepy. That's why I bring that up specifically. Like, you don't think that like. Okay, worst case. Okay, if it's not a ghost, worst case scenario, someone else is here that I'm not familiar with.
Yeah, maybe. No. Like you're completely right. Right, you are completely right. At that age, which really wasn't that recent, really that long ago.
It was not that long ago.
At that age, I just did not care about it because it was more of like someone moved the dolls, but they didn't really affect me. So I'm just gonna move them back.
Okay.
It's like
didn't think that far ahead about it.
It's not even that I didn't think that far ahead about it. It's more of like, it's gonna sound really weird saying it now, especially now that I'm more or less living with Sarah. But if someone else was living in my house and I did not know about it, but it did not affect me at all, I literally would not care. If it did not affect me in the slightest, like literally the dolls moving was the only thing that happened through those 4 years I stayed in that house. If someone else was actually in that house, I literally did not care.
Well, I mean, you did say like it's not exactly, you didn't consider it a home, or at least what Sarah said, it's not really a homey vibe. Like you guys just went there to sleep.
Yeah, I just went there to sleep.
Okay.
I just went there to sleep, eat every once in a while, and then that was about it. It was just a place for me to more or less be without actually being a home. So weird things happening in that house literally did not affect me at all.
Because it's not a place you'd stay all the time anyway.
Yeah, it's not a place I'd stay all the time. It's not really my problem.
So you admit then there was a problem?
No.
Okay.
Just because it's not my problem doesn't mean there is a problem.
Oh my god.
You and some of our other friends always get annoyed with me by me saying ghosts don't exist.
Okay. I don't know if you guys mentioned it. I'm the friend that totally believes that ghosts exists.
Well, you are one of them. You're like the main one, though.
I think I'm the only one. I don't think. Well, no, another one of our friends does. But I think everyone else is pretty much. It's like we don't. They
either don't believe
or
are
incredibly skeptical.
Incredibly skeptical. Sarah sort of believes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you are the one who like I believe.
Yeah, because I have ghost stories.
Yeah, you do have ghost stories.
You don't believe me though.
I'm not saying you have ghosts, but you have ghost stories.
Oh, come on. No, that's not fair. What do you? Okay. Well, no, I kind of I understand where that concept or where that line of thinking comes from, because like you even explained it too, and I agreed with you. It's like you kind of have to be like really, really skeptical, especially for me. Like if you believe in ghosts, and I do, like it has to come with like a very healthy dose of skepticism. Otherwise, everything's going to be ghosts.
Yeah.
And like you said it yourself, just because it's like a creepy thing or something like you thought was unexplainable, that doesn't necessarily mean ghosts. Yeah. And I 100% agree with that. However, however, I have 2 stories that like there is no way that you can explain it other than ghosts.
Wait, let me ask you. Do you think my doll story is a ghost? 2 incidents over 4 years. Like
the hallway one, I don't think that was ghosts. Okay. There's like so many explanations that could have been, but the ones where they were facing you and like they all appeared and they looked brand spanking new.
Well, not brand spanking, they look cleaned.
Okay, fine.
But not brand spanking new.
Okay, they look cleaned.
Yeah.
I think that had to look, why are you putting me on the spot? I thought this was a podcast. I didn't know this was a witch hunt, Kevin. What's going on here?
I'm not gonna say that you're wrong for not believing ghosts. I don't believe ghosts don't exist. I don't know the answer to that, though.
Okay, fine.
So I'm not gonna say you're just straight out wrong. But that's why I'm asking you. Do you think my quote unquote ghost story exists?
I think the hallway one, no. Okay. I think that there's a possibility something unusual happened for the porcelain dolls ones. Like that. I told you this before. It's like such a Gnostic kind of experience that the only way you're the only person who can say that for yourself with any kind of certainty. Yeah. So I can't say to you, it's like, well, maybe I can like use some kind of objective measurement and say, look at these charts, man. It points to ghosts. And I feel like you'd like deconstruct that. And it's just like, well, what makes it points to ghosts to begin with?
Well, I said during the podcast, like if I experience a ghost personally, then I would say ghosts exist. Okay. But like all the quote unquote ghost stories that I've experienced and like other people's like other people say they experience ghost stories, they're either like have like a healthy amount of distance from the actual ghost itself, or for me is like it literally did not happen to me. Other things happened and I just saw it and
witnessed it.
Yeah, like I just witnessed it after the fact. Not even during the fact, after the fact. Right. But it was like, oh, a plate falls out of like the cabinet and just flies over to you and breaks against the wall, and there's no one in the kitchen, and I see that and I'm like, okay, that's strange. Like, oh shit,
not quite ghosts yet though. Need a little bit more. What else can you show me?
No, at that point I'm like, okay, I've gone into ghosts don't exist to like, okay, shit, maybe we do have ghosts. Right?
Okay, you have to tell me like when that moment happens.
I mean, it never will, but yeah,
you
sure.
don't know that. You don't know that. No, look, you don't know that.
The ghosts don't exist.
What about that like whole haunted like tour that you were gonna do of like in Colorado, that hotel?
Oh, the Outlook Hotel.
Yeah.
Like if something happens to me there, sure, but it like again, it kind of has to happen to me personally to make me believe it.
Right.
So like
I said, Gnostic kind of knowledge there. Like you have to experience it yourself. I can go into details over and over, but I don't think you're ever gonna go through that threshold until you experience it yourself.
Yeah. Like, and I'm not saying like people who tell ghost stories are lying. That's not the case at all. I just think that like it's either something happened that that can be explained, but we can't explain it with the evidence we have now, or they are either misremembering it. I'm not saying that your story is going to be like that, but like that's usually what I think it's going to be. Okay. Right. So your ghost stories.
Okay. All right. Just real quick. When you guys go to Colorado, I'm not going with you.
Why not?
Because I'm the friend who's just like, first of all, it's like, I believe in ghosts. 2, I don't fuck with ghosts.
Why don't you fuck with ghosts?
For the exact, why would I? I already know they exist. Why would I tempt fate? You say it yourself, I'm the one who tempts fate. I'm not going to tempt fate. I want to live to see 80.
Well, plenty of people who see ghosts live to see 80.
That's because all the ones who didn't are dead and you don't hear anything about them.
Your point?
I'm not gonna go with you to call. Okay, maybe I will if I get to live stream it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, will they let? Do you think the hotel will let me live stream it?
It's a hotel. Are they gonna stop us?
I don't know. Well, I kind of want to like tour the grounds and everything too. Would that be illegal? We'll look into it later.
I mean, it's literally a regular ass hotel.
That's just also happens to be haunted.
Yeah, it just also happens to be the place where they filmed The Shining. So.
Oh shit.
That's the reason why people think it's haunted. Well, that's not the reason, but that's one of the things that like put on the map as a haunted place.
So is it actually haunted?
Who knows?
Okay, well now I'm curious.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll go with you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'm down. Okay,
Good.
so for my ghost story, I have two. The first one happened when I was actually when we were still kind of in high school. When we were still in high school, right? So I was in my kitchen. You've been inside my house, so you know like the
Yeah,
layout, right?
I know the layout.
Okay.
If you want to explain a little bit more for the audience, go ahead.
So where we dine and also like is also where the kitchen is. So like that's where we're gonna be eating, right? So it's like 9 o'clock. Everyone's already had dinner, right? And it's just like at this point, it's just like I'm swamped with work, and I finally finish it, and I'm in the kitchen. It's like 9 o'clock, right? I start making food for myself. And I'm just like, man, I'm really thirsty. I'm gonna go get a drink. I'm gonna put some ice in it. So I'm in front of my refrigerator, right? To my right is the doorway that leads into the other sections of the house, right? There's no door there. It's just the doorway, all right? I grab my glass from the sink. I put it behind me. So behind me is where I put like. Don't worry, hold on. I'm having like a brain fart. I'm not misremembering it. I swear. This is 100% accurate. I put the glass behind me. I turn back to the fridge. All right? Don't mock me, okay? You say like you're not mocking me, but like I feel like I'm the one wearing like the dunce cap, or like I'm in a cage and you're like observing me from like the balcony, like
you have a tinfoil hat, like guys.
Like you're a fucking you're a psychiatrist. It's just like I don't know what to do with him. He's just too far gone, man. He thinks ghosts exists. All right, I already told you I'm nervous enough as it is. All right,
No, go ahead, tell your story.
Okay.
Again, like I'm not saying that you're lying or like ghosts don't exist. Like you tell your story and then like I will comment. Don't think I'm not going to.
Of course. So I open up the freezer. I grab the ice tray. As I turn, I look inside. I'm looking at the doorway, and it's just not pitch black, but like there's no light coming from like the other room, right? In front of me, I see a white figure. At first, I thought it's like, because I just like, I turned super fast because I'm not caring. I'm not thinking about it. I thought it was my mother. I turn around, put the ice in. As I'm turning back, all of a sudden they're gone. I even say like, oh, hey, mom. Right? So I put like my ice tray back, and I'm like, then I think about it like more clearly. I'm like, wait a minute. My mom isn't clothed in all white. Also, my mom isn't transparent.
Yeah.
What the fuck? So I look, I'm like, and I even like, I back away from the doorway and everything too. I'm like, mom? Because I thought she was in the living room, which connects to the kitchen. And it's just like, but she wasn't, because it's like, there's no light coming from there. And so I'm like, I start to freak out a little bit. Like, I'm like, oh, well, it's like, whatever. Maybe I'm just seeing things. I grab my glass. I go back to the table. I think about it for a second. Also, just reminds me, I have another ghost story. All this shit happens to me. Only me for some reason. Of
You're
course.
the person who believes in ghosts.
Yeah. Listen, man. Why are you putting me on the spot like this? I run upstairs, and it's just like, I find out like my mom hasn't even been down in the living room for like the past hour and a half, right? So that would make no sense. So there was no one in the living room. No one was there. And yet someone was clearly there in front of me. Unfortunately, I didn't get to like a clear look at the face. Like I only saw the body, and it was like an old timey, I would say like Victorian era looking dress. It was really, really odd. And like, chalk white transparent skin, right? The next creepy thing that happened is, as I'm there and I'm still in the kitchen, which was like really bad call by me, why would I still stay there? I'm eating, and like I'm hyper focused on that area. The next thing that creeps me out, that makes me like, that's the last straw, I'm like leaving this area, was like, you ever like look off into the distance like on a really hot day and you see like those heat wave lines?
Yeah.
That shit was like emanating like the menacing kanji in JoJo's was just like right there. It was just like no. It was really, really weird. It was just like, nope, yeah, I'm done for the day. I'm gonna go ahead and like eat in my room. And that was my ghost story.
No, I mean, what's the time of day when this is?
It's like 9 o'clock at night.
9 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that it?
No, that's the main question.
It's like, I mean, yeah, I vividly remember that part, but why does that matter?
Well, if it was like a lot later, like I would chalk up a lot of the things as like being like super tired, basically. But like 9 o'clock at night, like that's not too late.
Yeah, I'm fairly awake.
Yeah,
I'm aware of my senses.
Hopefully.
No, come on, dude.
I don't think you're crazy. No, I don't think you're crazy. Like, I'm not saying that what you saw, it wasn't a ghost, right? I can't explain it, right? So if your house really is haunted like that, then again, I can't explain it. Like but I've been to your house.
Yeah.
Not necessarily at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
But I've been to your house, and I don't I haven't noticed anything, which is the thing for
You're
me.
the one living in it.
No, I know, which is for me. So like your ghost story, like it sounds like it could be a ghost, right? I don't know another explanation for it. So they're like fair. That is a creepy thing.
Encounter.
That is a creepy encounter. So like you honestly think it's a ghost, right?
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Have you seen the thing before again?
Have I ever seen it before?
Or again? Before again?
No.
No.
Nah,
so it was just a one-time thing.
The one time. Apparently, according to my uncle, because like when my uncle was living with me, I just want to like make this like aside. How the fuck do you guys record like this, dude, on this kotatsu? Because like my left.
Do you want a chair?
It feels dishonest. My left leg is like entirely numb right now.
I mean, like, I have like a lotus thing going on. So
yeah, well, you know, I'm not as flexible as you. All right, Kevin, leave that in.
All these muscles are
I
just...
demand you leave that in too. Like my left foot is like completely numb. By the way, pins and needles all the way.
I mean, no, there's a chair. You can use a chair if you want.
I'll tough it out. It's okay.
Fucking use the chair.
Okay. Fine.
Short it out my ass.
Short intermission, everyone. Okay. Where were we? The second
story, yeah.
Okay, the second story. Okay, the second story. That one was pretty crazy because like you ever like watch those like ghost hunting shows and shit like that?
Yeah.
Okay, like you know how it's like, oh my god, there's like a cold spot here and like EVP sessions. That one was a little more in line with that. And
fake?
No, come on.
No, go ahead.
You piece of shit. You motherfucker. Didn't they like disprove like so many of those shows too?
Like,
it's just like
literally 90% of those those episodes has been like disproven
and doctored and shit like that, right? Like they even edited. I'm cursing so much. I apologize. Your show has been like clean up until like now. It
really hasn't.
Do not adjust your TVs. This is exactly how it should be. Okay, so no, yeah, it felt like the whole cold spots and everything. Okay, I'll just tell the story. All right, so this was. Oh no, I'm not remembering all of the details. Oh no, I don't remember the time and date. I don't know what grade I was in. I don't know when. I'm pretty sure it was the senior year, like after we graduated, and I was a part of the show Rent, right? So I'm with my castmates and everything, and we like decide to go sleep over at his place because we were talking about ghosts while we were on break. It's just like, oh man, you guys know a lot about ghosts. How about you guys come over to... It seems like such a freaking hog setup, but like, why don't you come over to my place? Because there's some weird stuff going on inside of my mom's house. And I'm just like, okay, I'm down, whatever. Something for shits and giggles. And it's like, I get to spend time with people that I care about. So we go over, right? We're all partying, having a good time. Especially it comes to the point that like everyone has to go home except for the people who are sleeping over, right? All throughout the night, for me personally, it always felt like this weird sensation as if like someone in my ear, like someone's whispering something in my ear, like a voice that like I don't recognize, right? I'm like, I'm probably just tired. This was actually super late at night, so you know, for the skeptics, like you pin this all on us, on all of us being tired. But like with all of our like statements, like syncing up to like the same thing, I don't know if you could like. I feel like I could at least, I don't know, disprove that. All right. I'm the first one to mention it. It's just like, whatever, Daniel, you're crazy. Sooner or later, all of a sudden, my friends start mentioning the same thing. It's like, hey, Daniel, you remember like how you were talking about like someone whispering in your ear? It's like, yeah, I'm kind of getting that weird feeling. I don't know what it is. We have actually a skeptic that we brought with us, right? Like he was the same as you. He's just like, nah, ghosts don't exist. Yeah. Ghosts don't, fuck a ghost, man. Ghosts don't exist. Yeah. Right? And he comes along. So he wanted to sleep over because it's just like, hey man, if there's ghosts, right? Yeah. I love how this story ends too, because he totally believes in it now. I love it. And as the night progresses and it gets later and later, some more strange phenomenon starts happening. Like, you know, like like that cold spot theory. Yeah. Like I didn't believe in that, but I'm just like, why is this like one particular area of the house always so damn cold? Right? And it's just like, I asked the person, it's just like, no, we don't have like an AC. We don't have like any kind of like weird ventilation problems or anything like that. Right? So I'm just like, I'm keeping an eye, like I'm like literally hovering around that cold spot. Yeah. Later on that night, that cold spot starts moving, literally moving around the house, right? Like you could feel it, like it's palpable, like you could put your hand in it. It's just like, yeah, that's like significantly colder than the rest of the room, right? Like there's no mistaking it.
Yeah.
Then you put your hand out, it's like, you're fine now. It would start moving around. It'd start hovering over people too, which I thought was really creepy. That you could like pinpoint exactly where it was going, right?
Yeah.
Like like it had a trajectory, which I thought was just really creepy. I'm like, I'm still not 100% convinced. Okay. I have the bright idea, let's all take our phones out at this point. Let's just start recording, see what we pick up.
Yeah.
This one's like not as like, convincing to me personally because like, the whole orb theory, it could be like dust, it could be whatever. It could be like whatever, right? I'm like, okay, how about an EVP session? Right?
Okay.
That is where it starts getting really weird for me.
Okay.
It was on my phone, not this one. It was the old 4S that I have, like the really smaller one. I recorded, like I asked the room questions or the entity, whatever it was. It's just like, hey, is anyone here? Is anyone with us tonight? Is there anything you'd like to say to us? Right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, of course, like no response. When I go back through the footage, right? I actually hear not a response, but almost as if, and no one was messing with my phone at the time. I made very sure that like no one was fucking with us. I made very sure that like, none of the recording was contaminated or anything like that. But you could hear like tapping on the mic, like very like, how do I put this? Intentional tapping. And like I tried to mimic that sound and like it's impossible, especially because I had a case on it. It was like how do I put this? Like,
okay. Well, I don't know if the audio will pick that up.
I don't know. Okay, it's just how would I don't want to like.
No. I get what you mean. It's like a very like soft like
a soft, and especially and it sounded like they were just tapping it like right on the mic, and I'm like, I can't like mimic that sound at all, right? This is where the really creepy part happens. We heard something audibly with our own ears. I even caught it on the EVP session that I had. I asked the question, is there anything you'd like to say to us? Like a beat, like just like, I don't know, like a good 3 seconds of silence, as if everyone's anticipating something, right? And you hear, okay. How do you explain that shit?
No, I like I said, I can't because I wasn't personally there, and I assume you don't have the footage right now, right?
No, it's like the old 4S stuff.
Your old phone. So I can't even look through the footage. Of course, like I said, I believe you, especially since you have a lot of people there who was also can attribute a lot of it. But like I can't explain it. Again, I wasn't there. I know for a lot of cold spots, like you said, a lot of it can be attributed to like weird ventilation issues and stuff like that. I know piping was an issue for some places where certain parts of piping, especially the junction points, can be a lot colder than other places,
right? Causing
certain cold spots. But it moving, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
So like I can't personally explain like a lot of the things, especially like the humming at the end, I guess. But like weird tapping, like something soft like that can be just like weird microphone things, but like I said, the humming I can't explain.
Yeah, and that was the part like when like shit kind of hit the fan for us. Whether it was like half hysteria or like actual ghosts, like we started seeing things like everywhere. And at this point, it's just like the next kind of evidence that I had that like really convinced me was we kept seeing like there was like a mirror up on the wall, right? And we just kept seeing like no one was moving, and yet we kept seeing something moving back and forth, like as if like trying to get our attention, but that could have been anything. That could have been like like especially like with our positioning, it's like all these different angles. It could have been anyone moving. It could have been like cars on the outside like driving by and we wouldn't have seen it. But like we were just so freaked out at that point. My friend who's a skeptic looked at him. He's having a mental breakdown. I'm personally loving it. I'm like, oh yes, you skeptical bastard. Like welcome to my world. And I get really concerned for him because he's just like shaking and he's just like, holy shit, oh my god. Like there are tears, kind of like these anxious tears coming down his face. I'm like, oh man, now I feel really bad. But you know what? Score one for the believers, okay? That's for me. Like I said, it keeps getting wild because like it's like, okay, we're done. We're not having like any more of this like weird ghost shit. Like we go into the room, right? Like where we're all gonna sleep. And like we weren't going to. Like we were gonna have like guest rooms and everything. It's just like, but we were all so scared that we didn't feel safe sleeping by ourselves. And just like, yeah, no, I had to use the bathroom, right? And I'm like, all right, look, at times like these, I like to employ the buddy system, people. So who's going to come with me to the bathroom? Because I am not going by myself.
Your story reminds me of like like the reason why I didn't mention it in the last podcast is because I don't think it was like anything. Because it's something I didn't personally experience. But I was sleeping over at my cousin's house or like some family house basically. And it was me and my cousins, right? And like my cousins were hearing shit because it was a bunch of family there, right? So my cousins were hearing shit like, what's that? Because they weren't familiar with the house, and I just did not care. So everyone was freaking out. Like people was like hearing things or like similar to what you said. Like this area is like cold. I think at one point like someone like mentioned like we should do a seance or something like that. I'm just saying that I'm like you do that, I guess. Right?
Kevin, you gotta be a part of the seance. You gotta appease the ghosts. Like, nah, man.
Yeah, nah, man, I'm good.
Gee,
but like, well, everyone was freaking out. I was like literally like, trying to sleep.
That sounds so like you too.
Yeah, because like I said, it wasn't directly affecting me, and like it got to the point where I think so the rooms are like connected, more or less, or like some of the rooms are. So the room I had was connected to another room, and then so some of my cousins like freaked out and they decided to like leave the room and go to the other room, right? And some people start going back and forth inside the room, just wondering what's happening. It's confusing, and you just see me like in the corner, just laying on the floor, being like, "Okay, guys."
Like an old war veteran who's just tired of everyone's shit, just like, oh, just leave me alone.
You know, it was late. I didn't care what was happening, and like if ghosts really did exist, it's not hurting me. So
that's a fair point.
Yeah, like so, like I see how you're in a situation like people be freaking out, but I'm like 99% sure that if I was there, I would just be like, okay, that does sound weird. You might be picking up something weird, and like the humming thing might convince me if I didn't try to attribute to something else. But I don't think I'll freak out like you guys and try to leave the room.
Like what would you do? Okay, wait, real quick. I just want to like finish the story.
Yeah.
Basically, none of us sleep. The cold spot follows us, which was like not great. Like the cold sensation actually followed us down into the room, and it was just like where we were trying to sleep, and I was like, well, that doesn't feel good either. So none of us sleep. We get no sleep, and then we have to like perform like the day after, and it's just like we tell everyone, like they're also all freaking out. But so now everyone's like hysterical, and it's crazy. And my friend, who is like the skeptic, who's like, nah, ghosts don't exist. He still technically goes. It's kind of like your explanation. It's like, it was creepy and unusual, but I don't know if it was ghosts. I don't know what to call it.
Yeah.
But it's something that he would definitely attribute as supernatural or paranormal.
I wouldn't even go that far.
Okay. It's like
again,
splitting hairs.
Yeah. Again, like I wasn't there, so. Yeah.
No, like it's just kind of like more of like the terms he's using. It's just like how did he say? It's like, I don't think it was a ghost, but it was something, an entity, or perhaps.
At that point, I'll just call it a ghost.
Yeah,
if I'm convinced that far, just if I'm convinced that far, and you hear me say that, just mention like it's just fucking ghost, and I'll just say like, yeah, it was.
It was a ghost.
Like, because if I'm convinced that far to believe in like paranormal, supernatural stuff, then at that point, I might as well just believe in ghosts. Yeah. So, but like I said, I wasn't there. I can't be convinced, but like I'm 99% sure that like unless I honestly thought it was ghosts, I'll probably just try to go back to sleep.
Okay, fair point. But like my next thing that I wanted to ask you, it's like, what would have to happen? Like you said, like a plate flying off of the shelf and then like crashing into the wall. Does it have to be like a violent ghost or like a poltergeist or like?
It would have to be like definitive talking back to me.
Oh like literally hear it with your own ears. It can't be like off of recording or anything like that.
It could be off of recording, but it has to be like I actually have to. It needs to be something like words, basically,
and like talking to you specifically.
They're talking to me specifically. It can't be just like, oh, that garbage mess. It kind of sounds like she's saying like Kevin, something like that. It can't be like that. Yeah. It has to be like who are you, and it would actually say the name back or something like that for me to be convinced.
Okay,
because like if it's humming, then I'm like, that could be a lot of things. I wasn't there, but like that could be a lot of things. Yeah, because microphones can't read distinct laws.
That wasn't a microphone. That we all heard that as in
no, but you guys all heard that. That's a difference though. But I'm saying like if that's like my minimum requirement in terms of recording. Okay. If I hear it personally, that's also a really bad bar because of me personally. Because I for people who don't know, I had a lot of auditory hallucinations. What? Auditory and visual hallucinations growing up.
You didn't tell me this.
I'm pretty sure I have, like almost all throughout high school and middle school. I had auditory and visual hallucinations.
Never mind, you did tell me this. I'm sorry, because like you couldn't sleep.
Yeah, because I had really bad insomnia.
Yeah. Never mind. You did. Okay.
So I would have like bad auditory and visual hallucinations, and for me that's a really bad bar.
Okay.
Because it's gone to a point where now it's kind of naturally occurring in my head sometimes. Especially when I try to sleep, I kind of like naturally hear things. And I know it's not there, and I know it's not real. I like hear conversations, and I know, like I said, I know it's not real. So I'm more easily able to associate with my own auditory hallucinations, right? I don't have it as much anymore. It really is relegated to like me trying to sleep, or if I haven't slept for a very long time. But before in high school, it would just be constant. Not constant, but like it would happen more often than not.
Well, another explanation for like those things that you hear, like that's supposedly a naturally occurring thing, especially when you're trying to sleep. Like hearing, it's almost like this weird transference into like your dream REM state. You will like begin, like the dream will begin to construct itself in your head, but you'll hear it first before you actually see it.
The problem with that is I'm not tired when I hear it.
You don't have to be necessarily.
You don't have to be?
You don't have to be necessarily.
Okay, then
like I said, but you know, like you're more aware of it than I am, because I have that too. Like I'll have conversations playing out and stuff like that when I'm also trying to sleep, or we have something similar. We don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not an expert on this. But
yeah,
I know.
neither am I. Like we said on the ghost podcast, the horror podcast, like we would love to hear other people's ghost stories, and especially since it's in comment form, I'm not gonna necessarily believe you, obviously. Yeah. But I'm sure like Sarah or like you like would, especially if there's like more or less evidence along with it, or like it completely makes sense in your story. Yeah. It's just that me, something like something auditory, if it sounds anywhere near similar to my past auditory hallucination experience, then I'm not gonna believe it, and that really is just a me personal thing. Visual, I would more believe, even though I had it before, because I don't have that anymore.
Right. What if Sarah was in the room with you and she heard it too?
It would have to be exact.
Okay.
Yeah, like it would have to be exactly the same.
Like 3, 2, 1. What did you hear? And then like boom, ghost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it can't be a situation where like I say it and she's like, I think I heard that too. Right. It can't be like that.
It's like, no, I heard the exact same thing.
Yeah. It's or no, she has to say it first, or we have to do like 3, 2, 1 thing, because there has been way too many situations where people have said something and people are like, yeah, I heard that, even though they haven't. Right. Yeah, because they connect things in their mind, and because you said it, it's like a prompt.
Yeah. Okay.
So I can't trust that either. And like it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't necessarily be a violent ghost. Like it like being something being thrown. That's a requirement, I guess, but not like not necessary. Things floating, it will be enough for me.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, things floating will be enough for me. If it's like floating, I see it, and it just like drops to the floor. I'm like, okay,
ghost.
Yeah, ghost.
What about like doors opening and closing?
I can't.
No,
because that happens in my old house all the time.
Have you ever considered that your old house is haunted?
No. Well, cause it happens in my old house all the time.
What if it was Sarah's house? I
mean, sure, because that house doesn't have any precedent for that. My old house did, because the hinges are really bad, and everything was like on a slant. But this house doesn't. So if doors here open and close by itself, then yes, I would believe it. Okay. It needs to, there needs to be like backed up stuff for it. Because the thing is, like, even though people might say like I have this weird high bar for ghosts, that's because ghosts itself is a really hard thing to believe in.
Yeah, that's a pretty high bar.
Yeah, so like that's why I have this high bar to believe in ghosts. Right. So yeah, that's
your
my
time will come. Don't worry about it. Your time will come. Sounds like an omen. When you make that Colorado trip, man, oh boy, you're gonna see some weird shit.
How mad would you be if I make that trip and nothing happens?
I mean, like, good. Like I said, like I already believe in ghosts. Nothing else needs to, and shit always does.
Even worse, you come with us and things only happen to you.
Dude, I will cry. I legit will cry. That's why I'm gonna live stream it, so that way you have no choice. Like, what? Okay, look. I don't really care whether you do or don't believe in ghosts, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to doctor footage of just like, would you believe me recording? It's like, look at this shit, Kevin. Yeah. Would you believe that?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Because like you said, you have no reason to doctor it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would be like, okay, that's strange. And like the footage there kind of like is evidence of ghosts existing. Still hasn't happened to me, but I'll believe it
Okay.
at that point.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would honestly cry. I don't want to. I would hate, like, because I don't. There's no reason for me to fuck with ghosts anymore. There's no reason to. It happens all the time, and like some of them, I kind of like, whether it's like a coping mechanism or just like me being like, nah, it could have been anything. I don't know. I'm not gonna confront that and unpack that today. So yeah, but yeah, those are my 2 ghost stories.
Yeah. I'm sure Sarah would love those stories.
She's heard them like plenty of times at this point.
Really?
She's heard them all the time. Because it's like it's a great icebreaker.
Yeah, I mean it is. Like even to someone who doesn't believe it's a ghost, I think that's a really interesting story to hear.
Yeah.
Because like, especially since I personally can't explain it. So like that could definitely convince some people, especially people that know you, that you have no precedent to
Why do
not
you
lie
say
to people.
convinced like I'm a cult leader? I'm just telling the facts, man.
Sure.
Remember that time we had that seance at your house? Yeah. How come you guys didn't talk about that? Was it because you guys were?
Because nothing happened.
No, okay, that planchette was moving.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
It was like weird. It was like drifting. I'm like, okay, sure, guys. Like, where? But nothing happened.
That's a fair point, I guess.
But people don't know, like at the house that my mother lives in right now, when I had to house it, we tried to do a seance basically.
I was the medium.
And then basically, like we used like a glass cup as our, what's it called?
Planchette.
Yeah. And then so midway through, it was like drifting around and stuff like that. But I never spelled anything. It was just like drifting in straight lines.
This is also like, we were also drunk. That's probably a good thing to mention.
I wasn't.
I think you were high at some point.
At some point, yes.
You were, but yeah, we weren't sober.
Yeah,
like,
we weren't.
So I guess that makes sense as to why you didn't mention it. I just thought it'd be like a fun thing, like how far you guys would go to. By the way, I'm never doing that again.
Why not?
I don't tempt fate. Like in the 1 trillionth chance it does happen. I don't want it to happen to me. Let it happen to you.
I like how he's like, I don't want it to happen to me because I know what would happen to me.
Yeah, exactly. This shit happens to me.
Yeah, like it never happens. Like it never happens to me, which is the thing. Like people have these ghost stories, and like I fully tempt fate like all the time when it comes to this stuff, but it never happens to me, which is why I don't believe in them. So, yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think that's it for the podcast. I'll see you guys later. Yeah,
I mean, like,
I had like in my mind like a little list of things that I was gonna go down through for the podcast, and we have just like completely gone off rails. Like that plan was like fucking gone.
Well, that's how podcasts are. It's just tangent after tangent.
It's just tangent after tangent after tangent.
It's like a normal conversation.
Yeah, that's true. I was even gonna like talk, like we didn't even like. What did I even tell? Like they don't even really know anything about me other than that. Like
you're a tit streamer.
That's.
I mean, wait.
That's a bit.
I mentioned this, like I said, because the episode has to come out, so you don't know it. But I mentioned this to Ben. How did you come up with your screen name?
How did I come up with my screen name?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's a real good question.
Yeah, because I was talking to Ben. So since you don't know, I came up with my screen name because of Tamagotchi.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because that's why it's like Makamechi. Because all Tamagotchi it was chi. But my name is unique enough because it doesn't work in the format of Tamagotchi names. Because it's all Tamagotchi names are based off the Japanese alphabet. So you could do wa, you could do ka, you could do me, but you can't do a single T. So my name is unique enough that if you look it up, it's the first thing on Google. My Twitch stream is the first thing that appears on Google.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, mine is not. My like our other friends like think like my name is fairly unique. It isn't. I always have to add like some qualifier, which is why I have Discount Xanthum as my Twitch stream name, because some motherfucker out there already has Xanthum and he's gonna hold on to it until I become famous, and he's gonna force me to give him $10,000 for it. Yeah,
like I mentioned in the past podcast, all my screen names are unique enough. I purposely make all my screen names super unique so I can use it everywhere. So I used to have a screen name that was just like it was like a work email name, or just like my initial, like birthday, yada yada. But my next screen name was my middle school one, Infinite Dark Angel.
Yeah.
but that one is almost never taken. I've never seen Infinite Dark Angel taken anywhere, which is why I always use it.
Just because I don't I don't want to insult you or anything.
No, but that's the thing. Like it was like a very edgy like.
Yeah, because
wheezy
what the
name.
fuck would like this is name themselves Infinite Dark Angel?
I know.
Just name yourself Sephiroth while you're at it. Jesus.
That's kind of the point though. But like, but that's why I used it. And when I made Wakamechi, I noticed that it hasn't been taken in a lot of places. So exception being Twitter for some reason.
Oh wow, that is weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, like Xanthum, how did you come with that name? What's your history of screen names?
Okay, not great actually. There were
I mean, is it as bad as mine?
no,
Infinite Dark Angel?
it's not as bad. Okay, so like if I go back super far back in my head, right?
Mhm.
Like Steam would be like the oldest records and archives of like what my screen names were. And I think the one that like stuck out to me the most was I was like a huge fan of Fallout 3 and the Brotherhood of Steel. Then I thought like the Liberty Prime fucking mission was like so cool to my like however old I was brain at the time. I'm like, oh my god. And I like mecha, so I'm like, oh my god. I know what I'm going to use my screen name for.
Okay.
And it was that. It was Liberty Prime. It was Liberty Prime for like a long time.
Really?
And then afterwards, and I think before that, it was like, oh god, I don't want to mention it. I have to now.
You have to know, yeah.
I have to now. It was Raffle Stomper. I remember that one too because I'm like, I like the sound of that. I'm gonna put that. Yeah, I like that. It wasn't that unique, and it was also awful. Nah, I'm audibly sweating again. You better cut out me sweating on the mic. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna listen to it, like, the fuck is that?
Like, hey, I wasn't joking. It's just like, dude, the sweat, the sweat and tear ducts, they're on full force right now. I don't even know why. I do this all the time on the Twitch stream. I don't know why I'm so nervous. But so it was before it was Raffle Stomper. Afterwards, it was Liberty Prime, and I had a name before that I was like, which was Xanthrax.
Okay.
Right, which was a lot more like medicated sounding, but I just like shed that name for like whatever reason. I'm like, no, that's not me. That's not who Xanthum is, who I didn't know was at the time. So it went through Xanthrax, Raffle Stomper, Liberty Prime, and then this like whole like weird phase where I would end my names with like IDE, like sides, right?
Okay.
So it would be like genocide, homicide, suicide was one of them. The one that I stuck with for a while was Xenocide. Okay. Right? And then that one, it came back full circle back to Xanthrax. And I'm like, I still don't really like how that name sounds. And then evolved into Xanthum.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I just like
you just like the sound of it.
I just like the sound of it. It felt appealing to my ears. So I'm like, and I stuck with that for like super long, and actually till now. Good. If for whatever reason, like all forms of Xanthum that I can think of in my head are taken, like Xanthum, Mr. Xanthum, DJ Xanthum, Discount Xanthum, the one that I go to is Exorcist Man. Like super like out of nowhere, but like I don't know why I kind of like that one. Yeah, it's just like I think that's what I am on Origin actually, because I think like all forms of Xanthums that I like to use are like taken. But yeah, that's how I came up with it.
Damn.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, our friend said the same thing. He was just like, "What? I thought your name was like pretty unique." It's not. It's not. I wish it was, my man. It's not.
Yeah, I mean that's how it is sometimes. Like, I kind of fear the day that if I ever become like even slightly big, that like my username would be taken like everywhere.
Well, that's like a real common issue for like people who have like a really strong internet presence. It's a good one. Pokemon. Or like,
oh yeah,
they held her like Twitter name hostage for like $10,000. They'll hold another like this. I don't want to say he's lesser known because that seems rude, but this another Twitch streamer, Mr. Mooten, they held his because people like if you're gonna be part of this, you're gonna have like subreddits, like all forms of like online presence, right?
Yeah.
Someone took the domain name for the subreddit Mr. Mooten, took it for themselves, right? It's like, we'll sell it back to you for $8,500. And of course he did it. It's just like, fuck. And so yeah, like that totally is a thing that can happen.
I'm gonna hate the day that happens.
I'm legit. I'm like honestly.
But at that point, I'm like, I'm not gonna give you money. Like, I'll just make something else up. Fuck it.
I'll hire someone to sue you to give me that money or give me that like domain name. But I've honestly like put into like real thought. I'm like, should I just like preemptively make these like my Instagram? Like, and I don't have an Instagram, and I don't because I know I'm not gonna use it. But like, it doesn't hurt to be prepared.
Yeah, it's true. Like, when I made Wakamechi, I preemptively made like a lot of things for it. I don't think I made enough, honestly, but I made a lot of things for it. Like an email. I had the Twitter that I had to change because Wakamechi was already taken, but I didn't care enough. And then like email. I made a Steam. Like I made a bunch of stuff that's like, oh, this will be Wakamechi now, right? But it got to the point where I'm thinking like, it's just not worth it. For me personally.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Because like if someone like takes it and holds it hostage, like I'm just gonna think of a different name. And like I'm just gonna mention like that's just not me.
Yeah.
Like it'll just be that.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, that's how the name Xanthum came into existence.
I mean, it's an interesting progress from like fucking
Raffle
Stomper.
From Liberty Prime.
Liberty Prime, Raffle Stomper to like sides to Xenocide to
all forms of sides.
To Xanthum.
Yeah. It's come back full circle.
I'm gonna bring up this topic because I highly doubt I'm gonna get another guest. Unless it's like someone else online. By that point, I'm like, wow, I'm gonna have a guest that from someone else online. But you like wrestling.
Oh hell yeah. I knew you were gonna it's like I was gonna interrupt you. It's like, is it gonna be about professional wrestling? I knew it.
Oh my god.
I'm prepared. I'm so prepared for this.
Because like I was mentioning this to Sarah the other day, like you're the only other person I know that likes professional wrestling. Yeah. And it's complete coincidence that we both like professional wrestling because Ben mentioned it. Like, so do like you and Daniel like watch wrestling together as a kid? I'm like, no, we didn't know each other.
No, yeah, we didn't.
We actually did not know that each other liked professional wrestling till recently.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's amazing because I get to talk about because you actually I'm pretty sure you're a lot older fan than I am. You're a lot more. You know more of the older shit than I do.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't get like actively into professional wrestling until I was like 9. Right.
What era were you watching? Like post Attitude or like
it was definitely Attitude. It was definitely Attitude. Okay. But it was like midway during the DX era. Oh, okay. Yeah, like it was someone left, I think. So it was around there. It was definitely after it was formed. Okay. So, but I know a lot of the history around it, but I didn't personally experience it. So I know a lot about the things I experienced was the Attitude era, and then like a little bit after that, and I follow every once in a while. And now that I'm getting back into it.
Yeah, I know, like, right? It's crazy.
Like, oh my god, it's watching WrestleMania 35 with you and like people who never watched wrestling before was honestly an amazing experience for me. Like it wasn't the best WrestleMania.
No, it super wasn't. Yeah, I was watching previous ones and I'm just like, man, these were super hype, especially considering like what era we're in and like the kind of problems were the PG era, as some people like to call it, which we're kind of like making this weird. We're like, I think like the demographic that they were appealing to is now old enough in their eyes that they can start going past PG. Yeah. Like slowly reintroduce new things. Yeah. But yeah, like those were like way more hype, and 35 was like, it was hit or miss. It was alright. It was alright.
It was alright. It had moments, but when we were watching it with like our friends and seeing their reactions to it, it was honestly like a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Like you didn't think they'd be that into it.
Yeah, like it was amazing just to see them like actually like get into it.
Yeah, especially like every near fall, right?
Yeah. Like when it was like 1, 2, and then the people were like, oh my god.
One of our friends was just like, they get me every time. I'm just like, yeah, they used to happen to me too.
And like just see the reactions of the things happening when the Mrs. Dad came up. And then...
Oh my god, the WWE universe loves that image. I honestly don't know if that was scripted. I don't know. If it was, it's like great. Yeah. Like, brilliant. But like it looks just awkward enough that Shane was like, you're not supposed to come on. Yeah. Like, I swear I could see him out there like, you're not supposed to be here. Like, go. leave. I can't legally hurt you, old man. It was so good. It was so good.
Like and like just see like Kingston and just see them tell the story and people like actually get invested in what's happening in the Kingston fight. That was also like, wow, our friends are now invested in what's happening now.
Right?
And that was both a surreal and an amazing thing.
Yeah.
And oh god, I love wrestling.
Yeah, wrestling is the shit, dude.
It has a lot of issues, especially fucking healthcare. So,
Oh yeah.
Like if it wasn't for the fact that the WWE has a monopoly on wrestling,
Right.
I would definitely
For now.
Yeah, for now. Like if NJPW was more easily accessible for me, like if they had English commentators all the time, then yes, I would watch it. I think I actually might have English commentators all the time. And I'm planning to actually get a subscription for them.
Yeah.
But if WWE like wasn't this big bombastic thing that it kind of sells me on it every time,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't watch it.
Yeah.
But because it is,
Like you just have to.
yeah.
There's like always this like, all right, I'm just gonna whatever. Like I don't watch wrestling anymore, and then all of a sudden it's just like, well, I mean, like it doesn't hurt going just like looking up on YouTube, and then all of a sudden I'm like back into it.
Yeah.
Like I'm caught up with all the storylines. All of a sudden I know what all the backstage drama is.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh crap, we're here again. But like it's,
You know it gets bad when you start following mid-carders?
oh yeah. Oh my god, does Austin count as a mid Carter?
Technically no, but she's being treated like one.
Oh, ripperoni and pepperonis.
Like, cause she's popular enough to stand up there next to like Kofi and like fucking what was their names? Like she's pretty much the most popular female wrestler to like the public audience, but she's definitely not treated that way.
More so than like Ronda Rousey.
I would say so.
You think so? Are you sure you're not just being biased?
I might be a little bit biased, but when people get into wrestling and okay, maybe to the general public, Ronda Rousey is like the most famous female wrestler. But I think if anyone who's following the female wrestling circuit, she's the most popular wrestler.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because she has this huge fan base behind her.
That's true.
But like, it's definitely not treated that way.
No,
she gets treated like a mid card, and that's oh, that hurts.
well, it's like I said.
But that has been a recent thing though.
Yeah,
it wasn't like always been like that. But it like recently she has been treated like a mid card.
Right. I told you this before when you like told me that like she lost the belt. Like I don't think the WWE is capable of building people up without having them tear someone down.
Yeah, I think it might be because of. I'm not going to directly attribute it to this, but I think the biggest example of that was Triple H. Because it was very unintentional, like bring him down to build him back up. Because Triple H before the merger was a pretty famous wrestler,
right?
But after the merger, after the kayfabe incident, right? They had to punish a wrestler, right? But two of the wrestlers were basically retiring, and the other one was basically too big, so they punish.
You should give like a quick rundown on what the kayfabe incident is, real.
So, for people who don't know. Obviously, wrestling is fake.
Yes.
Let's break that news now, guys.
No, it's not.
Wrestling is fake. Most of the time it's scripted. Sometimes it's not, but most of the time it is scripted. But before that was public knowledge, a lot of people really did believe wrestling was real.
Yeah.
And all the drama was real. And all the hatred towards each other were real.
Yeah.
But there was a point where I forgot what the other company was called. But
WCW?
I think so. WCW and WWE was merging.
Then definitely WCW.
Yeah, it was WCW and WWE was merging, and then these four wrestlers, two of them were face, two of them were heels. It was a tag team, I believe, and they were wrestling each other. And after the match was over, after the cameras cut, they basically break character, and one of the wrestlers basically went over and basically kisses the other wrestler and to bring him back to life from being knocked out. Sounds pretty gay, I know, but it's like it's symbolic, guys. Don't worry. And then they're all like hugging each other out because it's like for some of them, this is the last time they're wrestling together.
Yeah.
So, but there are people still in the audience, and they're recording it, and they're like, "What's happening, guys?" Well, because these people are not supposed to like each other at all. Yeah. So the kayfabe is like Super Eyebrow Wolf has a great video on this when he was talking about like why wrestling fascinates him. He has a great wrestling. But after kayfabe incident, that breaks character for everybody, and because of that, the WWE wanted to punish someone because you basically ruined like all the storylines. You basically ruined what was selling it for.
Yep.
And people still watched, but you basically ruined the reality of it. So they punished in particular Triple H or Hunter Helmsley or fucking, I forgot his real name already. Paul. They punished him in particular, and the way they punished him was basically they put him through the ringer of just continuous losses. And whenever he wrestled someone else, the other person would not sell, basically. And people who don't know what not selling is when you hit someone and then they react to it, right? So in wrestling, because it's all fake, when you hit them, the other wrestler has to react. That's what selling is. That's why, like, even though wrestling is fake, they have to make it seem real. So what a no sell is when they hit him and they don't react. So Triple H was constantly projected as this guy who was weak and could not win any fight, and then so they put him to the ringer to the point where like, people were literally throwing trash at him.
Oh yeah.
And he was like forced to like crawl and shit like that. But like it got to the point where like he stuck with the company for so long that he started winning fights and he started becoming a better, like a more popular wrestler. And people started following his storyline, and now he's to the point where he is now, where he's like up there with one of the greats.
Yeah.
So
he's also running the company.
Yeah, he's also running the company now.
He's running the company, by the way. Let's not forget that. He's part of like the creative and like managerial heads that actually determine what goes on in the WWE. I think he personally books one of the shows. Yeah. Which is NXT.
Yeah.
Which is like their experimental wrestling circuit.
Which was great. I haven't seen the recent stuff, but that's where Asuka came in. Nakamura. That's when
I think Ospreay was there, wasn't he?
Ospreay was there at one point. Like
cruiserweight division. Like cruiserweight championship that they held there. That was just fantastic athletics, dude. Yeah. I was like, I know this is all fake, but like that is just so amazing.
Yeah, like fucking the NXT, their experimental circuit is honestly fascinating to watch. I love watching that shit.
Because I don't think the primary creative team handles it in any capacity.
Yeah, and that's kind of really sad when you say it like that.
Because once they like go onto the mainline wrestling circuits, they're subjected to whatever it is they tell. Nakamura's a jobber now.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts so much. But he was
a 2-time NXT champion. I mean, okay. I feel like a lot of these problems are gonna go away once like Triple H has like a more firm hold on like everything. Yeah. But like, you know, we don't know that for sure. Yeah. But continue your story about the kayfabe incident.
Because like, but yeah, well, I'm almost done actually. Yeah. Is that incident became so famous because that's the point where wrestling was fake forever. Yep. Yeah. So the reason why it's called kayfabe is because he was like the lead writer of like one of the circuits, basically. I believe so, yeah. So he basically directed like everything has to be real. That's why when wrestlers are doing like public stuff, they come out as the wrestler, not as the person, but as the wrestler.
Yeah, to really contextualize this, they took it to a ludicrous extreme. Like if you were seen in public, you could not be like who you were. You had to be the persona. Yeah. Because like any opportunity in which like this could go, like the secret could leak, like that's it for everyone. Yeah. So even like when you're just at home, I shouldn't say that.
At home.
Like when you're right outside your home. Yeah. Right. You run that risk. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You can't even talk to people you're not supposed to get along with in the storyline. If you're a face and someone else is a heel, you cannot be with them in public. Yeah. Even if you get along fine. Yeah. Like so that's the kayfabe thing.
Face is good guy, heel is bad guy, by the way.
Yeah. But yeah, like that's why Triple H is one of my favorite wrestlers. Is because like I love his storyline throughout, even though it's completely accidental. Yeah. But like his storyline of just being like this guy who was like punished by the corporate heads and just had to be thrown through the ringer, but stuck it out and became the greatest of all time, and now is like one of the managerial heads of the WWE. That is great storytelling, unintentional storyline telling for me.
Yeah, and like he had the conviction to stick it out. Yeah, when he had absolutely no reason to.
Yeah, honestly, anyone else would have left. Like anyone else would have just stopped wrestling.
Like, how do I put this? There are a lot of stories that mimic the the start of Triple H's career and end there.
Yeah.
We're seeing it now with Elias.
Yeah.
Where he's just kind of, but okay, like so Elias is like, the WWE has like this running joke where there is going to be a wrestler who appears just to get their ass whooped. Whether in the context of an actual match or not, they're just there to job.
Yeah. I think Elias only has like one notable victory.
Really?
One.
He's been there for a while, dude.
Yeah, he's been there for a while, but he has one notable victory against someone else who interrupted his performance, because someone always does. And then he basically had a revenge match against him and he won, and that was it.
Oh,
that's his one notable victory.
Good on him.
Yeah. But and, like, it's funny because like after like reading about Elias, like I kind of have this weird like affection towards him, because like, you're a loser. I kind of like that.
Yeah. Okay. So Elias is like, his gimmick is he's a musician.
Yeah.
Right?
He's the wrestling musician.
Yeah, and he goes up on stage and he performs, and his performance, like, he builds it up to like this amazing. He'll like pluck a couple of notes, and it's impressive. Like, I don't think he's
the amount of instruments he actually can play is impressive.
Like, I don't think it's fake, but who knows?
Yeah.
Okay, like, I can't like personally verify that.
Well, he actually can play a lot of those instruments.
Okay.
Whether or not he's actually performing it on stage is a different story.
Yeah.
But he actually can play those instruments.
Okay. So he's performing, and it's just like, it sounds great, and he's going to lead up to like this, like his magnum opus, right? And he's about to start, and then The Rock comes out, or like someone comes out.
Cena comes out twice. Cena came out twice, both WrestleManias.
Yeah, and they'll come out, interrupt him, kick his ass, and then they move on. It's like a really condensed halftime show.
Yeah.
Recently, it was The Undertaker who showed up.
You know, it was just like out of nowhere. It was just like Elias just mentions like whoever is gonna come back is gonna interrupt me next time. Is gonna be a dead man, and because he said dead man, Undertaker comes out.
Like, gong. It's just like, oh crap, I did it again. And so it like choke slams him, moves on with the story. Right. This isn't a new storyline.
It really isn't.
Heath Slater.
I just feel bad because it is his gimmick, but he's being like, his ass is being kicked because of his gimmick.
I mean, how bad could it be though? He was at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but like, he's at WrestleMania to get his ass kicked.
So someone's got to get their ass kicked. It's WrestleMania. Someone's gonna get their ass
kicked. Rey Mysterio already got his ass kicked.
Oh my god, dude! Oh, I cried. I was like, that is gonna hurt that division of wrestling. Oh my god, the luchador wrestling division for WWE took so many L's that day. Yeah. It's not even his fault.
It really isn't,
because he was injured. Yeah, supposedly. I don't actually know what was like going on behind the scenes, but like, that was just so definitive and like depressing. Yeah, it was bad. Oh, that hurts.
For those who don't know, Rey Mysterio lost in like 30 seconds. It wasn't even like a match.
It wasn't. It was their entrances were longer than the actual match.
Yeah,
like, I knew something was up the moment Rey Mysterio opened up with like his signature move, which was like the 619. Yeah. And then it was like he tried to go into like the ender to his signature move, and then it was countered immediately by Samoa Joe. And then he just put him in like his own signature move, which is a submission. By the way, submission signature moves are cheating. I feel like they actually are. I feel like that there's no realistic way. I say realistic. There's no like logical conclusion to it other than just you tapping.
You know what I love about us having this conversation right now? Yeah. No one's gonna get it.
No one's not gonna get it. No one's ever gonna get it. I came here with like alternatives to like other forms of like wrestling entertainment for you to get into. Yeah. But we'll mention that later. But yeah, like Rey Mysterio like lost in like 30 seconds.
It was so sad. It hurts watching Rey Mysterio lose like that.
Eddie Guerrero is spinning in his grave.
Oh man.
I'm serious. He did not die for that.
Yeah, really though.
Yeah, it feels bad, doesn't it?
I kind of, whenever someone loses like definitively like that, I'm really tempted just to follow them. No, really, like, cause like just to see where they go from there. Cause like it's usually either like, oh, this is gonna be our comeback story, and they lose again, and it's like, okay, that's definitive. We're never
like,
gonna see that guy again.
You are mid card for the mid card is like the like. I don't know. They're like the background characters in anime.
They're the other Z Warriors in Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, that's a good one. Ooh, ouch. Yeah, that's true. They're the other Z Warriors in the anime.
Yeah. So like Well, like if they want to do the revenge match and they lose again, that's like a definitive like you're gonna be mid card for at least a long time.
Yeah.
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 But I'm tempted like, oh, I want to follow Rey Mysterio now and just to see like if he gets something back. Just
He's still like a solid performer.
yeah, he is.
So is Nakamura, but
Yes.
look where he is now.
So is Nakamura. So is Asuka.
Shit.
I will still say Asuka is the best performing wrestler in the female division.
I could probably agree with that.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll tentatively agree with that. I have
Okay.
to learn more.
Okay. I'll at least say that she is the most well-rounded in terms of her performance,
Mhm.
her actual wrestling,
Mhm.
and her presentation.
Okay. I
Yeah.
still agree with you for now. I
Yeah.
just need to research it more.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't follow it that hard. I follow the not mid carders. I follow everyone else who's high up there in the female wrestling division.
Mhm.
But like, I feel like Asuka's the best one of all of them. In terms of being well-rounded. But that's opinion.
Yeah, all right.
It really hurts to see wrestlers lose like that though.
It does.
It doesn't matter if they're face or heel, honestly. It just hurts to see them like, ooh, like career breaking stuff sometimes.
Yeah. That almost happened to The Undertaker.
Yeah.
He lost twice.
Mm-hmm.
He's not really a mid-card. He's just...
He's relegated to mercenary without being an actual mercenary.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. You want to explain mercenary?
Okay, so a mercenary in the wrestling industry, for reference, I'm sure a lot of you know who Brock Lesnar is, even like because he has
He's an actual MMA fighter.
He's an MMA fighter. He had he was a sports athlete before he went to wrestling. But a mercenary is like someone who just comes on like every now and then. They are not in any way like really attached to the company as like say someone like Triple H is. Like they just show up. It's like, hey Brock, we need you to show up. You just need to whoop this guy's ass and put on a good show for like, I don't know, whatever. And then we'll give you a fat check, like a huge amount. Like they sometimes pay mercenaries way more than their regular stable of wrestlers. It's asinine. It's so stupid. A lot of people hate Brock for it.
Yeah.
And I totally get it. Like in real life, he looks like he's a really nice dude.
Yeah.
He's actually really shy. He's an introvert.
Yeah,
Like,
I kind of love him in real life, but in the context of WWE,
he is such a dick.
Yeah.
He's so bad. Like he was over at one point with the audience because they made him wrestle with Roman Reigns, and at that point, everyone hated Reigns.
yeah.
Everyone hated. They were clapping and cheering him.
No one likes Roman Reigns.
No one does. But enough of that. So yeah, a mercenary is just someone who shows up, collects money, is not really that attached. I don't really think it's like super fair to call Undertaker a mercenary because he's been there for a while.
Yeah.
He was there during the Golden Era. But
he plays the role of a mercenary.
yeah, his current role now is like you're really not going to see him in any like super important storylines or like storylines that continue like really, really long. Brock Lesnar is a special case.
Yeah.
Undertaker is slowly becoming the retired wrestler that shows up to make the crowd go wild every
Yeah.
now and then, which is kind of sad, but he is getting up there in age.
Yeah, it's fair. I understand. It was up to me. He should have retired right after his streak lost or while his streak.
He should have never lost his streak.
Yeah, he should have just not wrestled Brock Lesnar or at least beat Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, but I feel like with what WWE were asking, they were like, he was asking around. It's like,
Yeah.
I've told you this before. He was asking around, who wants to break the streak?
Yeah.
Someone's got to break the streak. Please, someone break the streak. I want to retire. But like, yeah, so he's just like,
I like to imagine it was like only Roman Reigns. Like, hey, yeah.
no. I think he did ask. He said no.
Yeah, because, well, I guess, okay, for people who don't know Roman Reigns, I feel like we should end it like in at least the next two stories.
Okay.
But people who don't know Roman Reigns is a super unpopular wrestler. And that's mostly because the WWE wants to push him super hard, but none of his stuff is earned, basically. In wrestling, you have to earn your reputation.
With the audience.
With the audience, at least. You can earn it at WWE all you want, but you're not going to be popular with the audience if you have a reputation and you never earned it.
Yep.
And that's the problem with Roman Reigns. No one likes Roman Reigns because of that. And, like, it doesn't help that he can't work the mic at all.
Oh, yeah. He is like, he's not really that great on the mic. He was he was better when he was with like Roman Reigns was part of the NXT division and then showed up as part of the Shield with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. R.I.P. to Dean Ambrose. We'll get into that later.
I just realized.
Yeah.
Fucking Brock Lesnar lost to 2 people in the Shield.
Oh my god, you're totally right.
Oh my god.
But so they were a group.
Within like 2 years, I think.
Yep.
Oh my god.
See, being a mercenary isn't all that great, but he doesn't care about how he looks to the audience necessarily. But so they were like this attack group. Like they really presented themselves really well. This SWAT attack group that like comes in, secret agents in the middle of the night, just fuck shit up and then leave. Super hype with everyone. I watched those. That was the one time I was super hyped for Roman Reigns.
No, like you get hyped for Roman Reigns within the Shield because the style of wrestling is this like super aggressive style of wrestling that's like really hyped to watch.
Yeah.
Like when like to see them like continuously attack someone and like watching Roman Reigns finish someone off with a spear is like, oh,
it's super good.
Yeah.
But like by himself, they're trying to push the Roman Empire, which is like their next attempt at the Cena Nation.
Yeah.
Because Cena Nation doesn't exist anymore.
Nope.
It's Thugonomics. It's Word Life.
It's heel Cena.
It's heel Cena. And they even said it on commentary, which I feel like was a slip up. I was like, were you supposed to say that he was a heel? I don't think you were supposed to say that. But yeah, so what were we talking about Roman Reigns?
Because like Roman Reigns is a super unpopular wrestler to the point where, and it sucks because like I said, none of his achievements are earned. Really, it's just WWE really trying to push him. And what I mean by that is, for example, imagine watching Dragon Ball Z, but never watching any of the training arcs.
Oh, that'd be
that is what Roman Reigns is like. It's like, oh, suddenly Goku's stronger and he's able to beat this person. And the next minute comes up.
You know that, right?
Huh?
That happens a lot. You know that, right?
In Dragon Ball Z or?
Yeah. Well, actually. All right. I feel like that happened a lot more in Dragon Ball Super.
Well, yes, in Super.
Okay, but like you said Z, so I'll whatever.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Well, even in Super, they try to contextualize it as in he's trying to get stronger while fighting.
It's dumb.
Yeah, it's dumb, right? But Roman Reigns, he's just like, okay, he's this guy, and then he's gonna beat this wrestler, and he's gonna beat this even stronger wrestler, and he's gonna continuously beat stronger wrestlers, basically forever, to the point where he had to face against the Undertaker, which right off the heels of losing to Brock Lesnar, and then basically he beats the Undertaker. To the point where the Undertaker couldn't do his signature sit-up anymore. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I didn't want to watch that.
Yeah, no, like at the end, it was like Undertaker's on the floor. He tries to just sit up, but it was like after all the times he's been wrestling, after all the years, he couldn't do it anymore, and he got back down. And then Roman Reigns is just standing there. And to be fair, if they try to recontextualize it, this could be really good. Performing in Roman Reigns' part, because you just see Roman Reigns just looking at the Undertaker, and you can project something because he has a very neutral face. You could project like he's sad watching this.
Oh wow, that would have been smart.
Yeah, you could project like this is someone that Roman Reigns respected, and he's sad beating him.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
That would be good.
They didn't contextualize it.
They didn't contextualize it like that. Roman Reigns beats the Undertaker.
In WrestleMania.
In WrestleMania, after Brock Lesnar just beats the Undertaker, and then Undertaker takes
because like I think the next one that he had was like against the guy Bray Wyatt. He like the Undertaker like fought against Bray Wyatt, and his record was still like 31-1. It doesn't matter. The point is just like this was not supposed to happen. Yeah, it shouldn't have happened.
No, do you know what really? But this is the point where no one was on Roman's side anymore. It's when Undertaker takes his trench coat off, takes his hat off, puts it on stage folded, and leaves.
Oh, because he retires. That was his retirement match.
That was his retirement.
But he still shows up so often, though.
Yeah, he still shows up every once in a while.
He's been 3 WrestleManias, and he's still kicking ass out there.
Yeah, but that's the point where no one likes Roman Reigns anymore, because Undertaker's a super popular wrestler. Some people who don't like wrestling know it's the Undertaker.
Yeah.
And like... But no one liked Roman, and he just beat the most popular wrestler out there, to the point that the next match he is up and he's on stage, constant booing. You can't even hear him.
Roman sucks.
Roman sucks.
It's not great.
Like,
Ooh.
ooh.
I want to talk about the part where he gets leukemia and then, like, out of courtesy. Okay, so I'll make this super quick. It's so bad. He wins the Universal Championship. Shut up. Okay, look. Fast forward, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. Roman wins, right? Day after, he shows up on, was it Raw? I think it was
Yeah, it was Raw.
He shows up on Raw, and it's just like, I gotta tell you, it's like he has like this emotional speech, kind of, because he's not really that great on the mic, still. We find out...
Still isn't.
He still isn't. We find out, like, he breaks the kayfabe. We find out he has leukemia.
Yeah, he's actually diagnosed with leukemia.
Like, this isn't like a ploy, and the WWE has done some dumb shit to get people over. But
Vince McMahon died from car bomb twice.
Vince McMahon's life was jeopardized, and I say that with air quotes, in reality 3 times. One of them he sold really well. But about that later. That's another podcast when Sara isn't here. But fucking... Roman Reigns has leukemia, and everyone is like suddenly feeling really guilty for booing him. Yeah. So he retires. He has to. Of course, he's gonna retire. He has to.
You're not gonna make someone wrestle with leukemia.
You've done some fucked up shit before, man.
This is like, he's a fucking cancer.
CM Punk wrestled while he had a concussion.
But okay, yeah, okay, true. But you can play off concussion. At least you could sell concussion. At least. You could sell concussion. You can't sell a leukemia patient wrestling.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so he has to retire. He comes back, and I didn't even know he came back. I was so surprised when Kevin was like, "Hey, I got WrestleMania 35. Oh, let me see the card." And it's just like, what the fuck is Roman Reigns doing here? I thought he retired. He beats leukemia, comes back. So like, he's not booed anymore, but it's just silent.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know if it's worse. Well, okay, it's definitely worse because they still try to play him off the face.
Yeah.
It's definitely worse. But if they just played him off as a heel to begin with, it would have been better.
I don't think they can do that because of the whole leukemia thing now.
Like I said, all right. Going back to the Super Eye Patch videos, he has 2 wrestling videos. One about why wrestling is fascinating, and the other one about the Undertaker. Mm-hmm. In the Undertaker one, he mentions how this one wrestler, after winning a championship, he gets no response because he's a babyface. Mm-hmm. He gets no response from the audience. No one gives a shit. So the way that he plays it off is that he reinvents his character as someone who actively hates the audience, mm-hmm. to the point where like he will come on stage and just lay on the ring, mm-hmm. until the next wrestler comes up and it's time for the wrestle. Or like if he wins the belt, he would just straight up like throw the belt away. He would like break the belt on the stairs and just leave.
Who was it?
It was a Japanese wrestler. It was someone enjoyed. It's like Tetsuya or something.
Okay. Oh no! Probably... You told me about this. Yeah, I was still thinking WWE. I'm like, who the fuck did that? Yeah. That's so brilliant.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And if they played Roman like that, it would have been like the most brilliant thing. Honestly,
they don't have the balls to do it.
But they don't have the balls to do it.
They couldn't. I mean, they already don't like... We have too much merch, okay? Yeah. They already don't like him now. It's like, what do you have to lose? Whatever. Just put him to the mid-card if it doesn't work out. Yeah, it sounds so awful. You're playing with these people's lives.
Honestly, just have him lose to, like, fucking... Have him lose to Cena. Fucking...
Didn't he already do that?
No, but, like, have him lose to Cena and have... I'm using this as a time to have him turn heel. Have him lose to Cena, have him turn heel. Or have him lose to, like, fucking Kofi and turn heel. Or fucking whatever.
Oh, that's a good one. That's like, ooh, that's topical, too.
Yeah.
Kofi just won.
Yeah, Kofi just won. And just have him lose to Kofi. And have, like, the crowd cheering for Kofi while Roman's is laying on the ring. And have that be the point where he turns heel.
Yeah.
Just do anything else with Roman. Don't keep him as like this face character that you're trying to sell super hard. Mm-hmm. Anything else with him. Mm-hmm. But the rest of don't have balls.
Yeah, no, they don't. Yeah, that's the WWE.
Yeah, that's WWE. Yeah. Next time you come on, it's just gonna be like, fucking, what the fuck are they doing now?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing, especially for like the industry as a whole, because like there are more mainstream circuits that are popping up.
Yeah.
Check out WWE. Check out All Elite Wrestling. I still have to do that.
AEW. Yeah.
Check out NJPW.
NJPW is arguably way better.
Yeah, and they care about their wrestlers.
Yeah.
And And there are two other circuits, and I just don't remember what they were.
It's like World something wrestling.
I don't really care.
Yeah,
and then like
they're a lot smaller.
Yeah, but definitely check out AEW. Apparently, Dean Ambrose is going over there.
Yeah, Dean Ambrose. They got Kenny Omega.
Yeah, Kenny Omega. Ooh, that's a name everyone knows.
Yeah.
Man, wrestling. Okay, so knowing that, I do want to plug a couple of things real fast that like can help people get into wrestling. Okay, I know one of them you'll be super interested in.
Yeah.
Okay, so first things first, check out Botchamania. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what Botchamania is?
You told me about it, and I seen like two things of two videos about Botchamania.
Okay, so since everything is scripted, that doesn't mean like the actual action is like, computerized or like they have to improv in the middle of it.
Yeah, because everything's live.
Yeah, everything is live. And it's just a fucking recipe for disaster most of the time. So look up Botchamania, Botcha Mania, right? And what a botch is in wrestling is when you just fuck up. You fuck up like a move or something, and it looks hilarious. It's so popular of a concept that the WWE themselves are doing their own Botchamania segments now with real wrestlers. It's great. So look it up if you want to see like it. Just in general, it's a very specific form of humor because like you have to kind of like video games, and also like wrestling at the same time. So check it out if you're interested in wrestling. Another thing, if you're super into video games and like the aesthetic and feel of wrestling, but just don't like the human component of it, check out VGCW. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, you told me about it. Where it's one of the wrestling games, and they have a storyline system.
Yeah. So it's set up. Rest in peace, Baza McMahon. You've gone too soon. So it's not a thing anymore. VGCW, the mainline VGCW, no longer exists. You can still find archives online. What does exist is Extreme Dude Bro Wrestling doesn't exist either anymore. But just look up VGCW, you'll find all of it. But what it is you take the 2K WWE games that were developed, right? And these people use the creative wrestler systems to create video game characters in the system, right? And it gets better from there. And they customize their moveset and like give them names and everything, so that way it's all like to the character. Phoenix Wright is a character in VGCW. Guess what his signature move is?
What?
Okay, he has two of them. One of them is the lie detector.
Okay.
And then the second one is the verdict. And like the best part, it's great. It's great. The Snake is a character in it. Yeah. His signature move is the codec breaker, not code breaker, codec.
The codec breaker.
And the second one is CQC.
That's great.
It is great. There is so much thought put into this. So they use the storyline of the wrestling games in order to have these AI fight, and depending on which of the AI wins, the storyline progresses in a specific way. It's fantastic. It's amazing. None of it is scripted either. Yeah. Like none of it is scripted. So it's like, and the AI is awful. The AI is stupid. So it's like so many ways for like it to fuck up, and like in so many cool ways. And finally, they don't use the in-game music. They use their own music live, and like one of the in-jokes or like kind of things that the culture develops is the synchronization of the music to the action. Yeah. So much so that like it's custom to like type out sync when you spot it. It's so much fun. I'm gonna show Kevin a clip about this just to sell him. Yeah, sure. Like this shit goes back all the way to 2013, people. I was watching this when I was in college every Tuesday night. I looked forward to this more than the regular WWE. It was so hype. Check that out. And I think that's it. Botchamania and VGCW.
And if you want to know like what exactly appeals to us in wrestling, the Super Eye Patch Wolf videos that I mentioned, those are great ways to understand like why we love wrestling so much. Because like those videos really explain like why we care about these wrestlers and like all the history that comes with wrestling. And the storylines we follow, like why we're so invested in it. That those two videos, both the Undertaker one and the Golden Lovers one, are great videos to watch. So there you go, guys. Like if you want to understand what we like about wrestling so much, there you go. Yeah. I guess we've been talking for long enough. So is there anything that you want to mention before we close out?
Thanks for having me on. It was actually a lot of fun. Yeah. I'm still audibly sweating out of like anxiety. I don't know how this is gonna turn out. I'm gonna like listen to the podcast and just like shirk. I'm like, oh God, why did I say all this stupid shit? Everyone's listening.
I mean, it's fine. Like I love having these conversations. So and stuff to work off of. It's great. So that's why if it came worse to worse, I would have recorded this alone if I didn't have you or Ben, right? But I don't feel like that would be entertaining stuff.
That's fair.
Yeah, but it was great having you on. I got to talk about wrestling. So,
Yeah, always down to talk more.
Yeah,
there was like we barely scratched the surface. There's just so much stuff that we.
There's so much stuff. There's so much history. There's so much content we could talk about in such a short span of time for wrestling. Like so much things happens in like 1 year of wrestling. It's insane.
Yeah.
But
we don't have the time.
We don't have time.
We don't have the time. This shit would go on forever.
Yeah. We could create a separate podcast just for wrestling, but there are plenty of other people who do that, so you can watch them.
WWE Network, sponsor us. Come on.
I already pay for your content, please sponsor us. But yeah, I guess that'll be it for today, huh?
Yeah. Is there anything? Follow me at twitch.tv/discountsanthem. There you go. Have that plug.
Yeah. Baby. I don't even think you mentioned what you play on Twitch.
Oh, right. Okay. So, I play a whole bunch of Tekken 7. Okay. I say I'm a variety streamer, but we all know that's not how Twitch works. You have to earn being a variety streamer, okay? So right now I'm grinding out my fortunes on Tekken 7. I try to stream every day.
Except for weekends.
And that might change just because it's like scheduling and it's just like I have to find time.
Yeah.
But we'll see. So you can find me at twitch.tv/discountsanthem, trying to reach Tekken God Prime. Trying to make it out here in this Twitch world, just a single Twitch streamer, grinding out that little piece of cheese from Jeff Bezos. Yeah. I also have a YouTube channel. Just look up Discount Xanthum or Xanthum. I don't update it regularly in any capacity.
Hey, your Dead by Daylight video is funny, and I very much enjoy your Atlas videos. So,
no, too. I dropped
part
that
1,
shit.
part 0, and part 0.1.
I dropped that shit so fast. It was so stressful to play. I'm like, fuck this. I'm not doing this. You guys should actually check it out because Wakamechi is featured in a couple of them.
Yeah, I'm active in his Twitch streams. I am his unofficial coach.
He is
unofficial official coach.
He is definitely my unofficial official coach.
So if you want to talk to me there, I am live over there too. I'm just not playing. So that will be it for today.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Bye,
so
guys.
I will be very much glad to have you back on one day.
Hit me up, man.
So that has been episode 8.
Big 8.
Yeah, the big 8 of Just a Couple Thoughts. Thank you for listening, and bye, guys.
Bye, guys.